This is Inside Outlands. I am your host, Natryl, and today I brought with me Karasho, the lead developer for CUO. How you doing, Karasho?
Yeah. Hi all, guys.
Yeah, we had some scheduling stuff with this because you're not in America. You live where?
Yeah. I live in Rome, Italy.
Yeah, the place most Americans try to visit all their life. You just live there, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I saw in the Discord chat in Outlands you were putting some pictures up there. Looks beautiful there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yesterday was a really beautiful day, but today also not bad. Sunny, 20 degree, right? Yeah, it's a good place to spend your time if you want. So come, guys, come, and enjoy Rome.
Yeah, I live in Texas, so it's always sweltering hot. Not only that, I live in Houston, which has the worst humidity, so it's never nice here. It's either cold in the winter or 100-degree weather.
No, well, it's a strange weather in Italy because the Rome is hot, really hot in summer, and really cold in the winter. The best time is this April, May, and October, in my opinion.
So let's start off explaining what is ClassicUO, because I think a lot of people don't really know about the project yet. So just give us a brief rundown of what it is, and we'll go from there.
Well, ClassicUO is an idea started last summer with Jidan. After the trader left the Orion project, I really wanted to start a new client to improve my skills and to do something new. So that's it, ClassicUO, and I think it's growing up really fast.
Yeah, I think if anyone has played the Orion client, because Jaden had a bunch of work there, went up to beta 12. So if you played Orion, you have a pretty good idea of what ClassicUO is, because a lot of the features are similar. I think this client has surpassed it finally, but it's basically a fast FPS client. So everything runs really smooth, 60 plus FPS.
Because we are using the OpenGL library, so it's a really game. It's a game. It's not more. It's the problem with the classic client is basically the standard client uses the API, the Windows API. So GD high, I think. Yeah. So it draws all stuff with the CPU. Instead, ClassicUO and Orion use the graphical card. So the work is splitted, and the advantage is FPS, zoom, a lot of stuff like that.
It's hard to describe unless you've played it. It's really smooth. That's the biggest thing. It's really smooth. It launches with almost no issues, and you can take your FPS all the way to 250. So once you get in that 60 range, all the animations are really smooth. Everything's crisper, cleaner. I don't know why it's crisper and cleaner. Maybe just how it's displayed. But if you put the two clients side by side, one looks I don't know, like not as sharp, but it just looks way better. Text displays better.
Well, I didn't adopt graphical stuff. I take the texture, the sprite, and aptly hit them to the object. So nothing special. That's all.
Yeah, well, if it's nothing special, it's from a user experience. It's just crisper, cleaner, sharper, smoother, faster. It's a much more modern.
Sexier.
Yeah, sexier. Yeah,
Well,
the zoom is cool too. Zoom is from Orion, so you brought that over here. It's kind of neat because you can pull back the client way back, get some nice screenshots. You can zoom way in when you see something closer, and then you put in a macro that can go back to the default scale, which
yeah,
Orion didn't have.
there is the default key to do this, and well, the zoom has a problem. The problem is the texture, because texture, when you take the texture, you should calculate the pixel. The problem is Ultima Online use standard texture size, so you cannot zoom in and out like I want. So the effect is strange. If you zoom out, you can see pixel and that moves around the game. It's not really clear. That's one problem. But I think, I don't know if I can do something about this, because I should change all texture of the game, and I can't, about the laws, I think, the copyright. So the zoom has this problem.
Yeah, so you're not happy with the zoom, I guess, but you don't know if there's anything you can do to make it significantly better, I guess.
Uh, yeah, I try to do it. But I think ClassicUO, the the most important stuff is the FPS, in my opinion, and the smooth experience that you can see if you run it. So zoom, yes, is can exist or not, is not a real problem for me and for the player. The player want to see a smooth gameplay.
Yeah. So the other big thing that I love is you can highlight static objects or any objects in there with like a pink highlight, which I know can be a problem because you'll highlight like the grass texture or not
Yeah.
the mob. But where I'm using it is I can actually tell what I'm about to click on, because in the regular client sometimes it's like, am I actually clicking on the thing I want or am I missing it? So I'm able to pull bars better. Um, I'm able to like decorate my house better because I know for sure I'm clicking on like the plant and not the chair. It's really nice, and if it bothers you, like it's just a quick thing. You turn it off or turn it on when you want to use it. So it's pretty a handy feature.
Yeah, basically the highlight was made to debug purpose, so it's not a real option. But I like it, and people like it, and yeah, use them.
Yeah, if it's a debug tool, that's fine. I want it to never go away. I always have mine
Yeah,
on.
no,
But
it's fine. Fine.
the other cool thing is there's a couple hacks that you can put in on the regular client, like the tree hack and roof tiles, stuff with the grass tiles. There's a couple things you can mod with the original client that comes pre-baked into ClassicUO, so you can turn off all the trees, all the roof, and that was in Orion, so it's really nothing new. You just ported that over.
Well, the problem about this option is some server don't allow the tree hack, and can ban you, but never happen. The problem, you can see that with tree hack, that you can run better and see other stuff like tombstone and tree, low tree. So it's a strange option, but if someone want to remove it, no problem. ClassicUO is it's free.
So are you going to put in like a negotiating feature request? So if a server didn't want the tree hack option available, they could have CO not launch with it, or would they have to branch ClassicUO and take that code out?
Yeah, my idea is to use only one branch. So I want to make a special packet inside ClassicUO, from server. So the server tell to ClassicUO what which option are on and which option are off. That's another idea, but the problem it's can exploitable, I think.
Yeah, you got some difficulties there with making it not.
Mm,
Well,
yeah.
the average user like me is not going to be able to get around it, but you got to make it harder for someone with a little more expertise with coding, I guess. Orion had that thing where you could put bars above, like a percentage bar above the HP. I don't think that's working in CEO yet. Is that coming soon?
Yeah. It's a feature that we should implement. I added the option, but it doesn't work because when I did the first release with Razor. Razor has this feature, partial feature. Razor has the percentage over the head. So I thought a problem for the moment. I can focus my mind to other issue like crashes.
Yeah. Razor does have it. I think Orion's implementation of it was better, though. And then a new one that just got put in with this release, which we're on alpha release 4, was the anchored
Yeah.
spell system, which is really, really cool. I finally got a chance to play with it a couple days ago. But you just drag a spell off your, like a regular client, and you drag another spell. And then when you take the spell and you put it over the other spell, it'll anchor in any position you want. It's actually really easy to use. You can form a whole grid system with all of your spells and then move those around as a block.
Yeah, that's the jello feature. Hi, the jello. And yes, it's a really, really cool feature. I love it. And you can, with the Alt key, if I recall, it's the Alt key. You can choose to de-anchor the spell or close it. Really, really cool feature. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's made it so that you can actually de-anchor just one spell, because when it first came out, it would take them all off and you had to redo it. So now you can kind of get in there and mess with it even more. So if he's listening, I suggest you do the same thing with skills. Make the skill, and someone said this in chat the other day, but make the skills twice the length of a spell slot so that they can all like be anchored really nice and neat.
Yeah, you mean the skill gump?
Yeah, the skill, like when you drag off stealth
Yeah.
or something, or hiding onto your client.
Yeah. The skill gump was made from Apple Joyce. I don't know where is this guy now, but he made a great work. And yes, but we need to improve it because I think when you drag the little gump with the name of the skill, need a little restyle, I think. Nothing special, but a restyle. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the look of the new skill gump. It's I think it's easier to use, but it doesn't have all the same features of the regular client, which is where you can add your custom builds and stuff like that. It just needs that, and then it'll be, once it has parity, it'll be pretty nice.
Yeah, you can order the skill by name or values. That's a feature made from by Zolter, a Rasky guy. And yes, the skill gump is pretty good. Yes, I like it.
Yeah, the other thing that got put in recently was the Outlands status bar, and you put in a thing baked in the client to change from currently 3 options, which is probably a good way to do it, because if other servers out there have their own kind of status bar, we can easily drop that into CUO with an option and not have to fork the code and have a version for that server only. So it's pretty neat. In Outland, you just load it up. You actually can put it in the settings file too. You go to options and you select the Outlands Gump, and then Outlands will have the correct status bar. Or if you go to like play on your Renaissance or something like that, you can use their status bar.
The health bar, I think you mean. The health bar.
Yeah, it's the big block thing, that has HP and your stats and all that.
Yeah. Well, the health bar now works good from latest dev branch. I improve it uh, because there was a click missing. Yeah, uh, about it. Sometime when you click, you should uh, put the mouse over for for a little amount of time over the status bar. Uh, so now it's working good. I think I received some feedbacks good, and yeah, you can also answer them. And yes, and, the status bar, the style is the same of standard client. Uh, that's all about status bar, I think. The status bar, but you can choose the different shard because Outlands has a different layout, really strange. I think Owen modded the region client from with assembly, I think, and yeah, it's really cool. And the Outlands status bar was made from another guy that playing Outlands. I don't remember the name. Sorry.
So the other really cool feature that I use a lot is when you go to the graphic options in ClassicUO, you can tell it to maximize game window by default. So your entire screen will be the view window. It takes some adjustment because I'm used to playing with black space, but there's really nothing. The only benefit to that is you're going to see more of the map without stuff being generated like players and maybe certain items. But I like it because it looks more like a regular modern game. So I've kind of adjusted to it and gotten used to it. And then I just put things around my edge of my screen where it's not going to draw like players and stuff. And it looks really cool. It looks good on 4K screens. It looks good on 2K screens. It looks good on 1080p screens. The other thing you do, you just drag the view window and just move it wherever you want. So if you want a 800 by 400 window, make it. Or if you want a bigger window, you can do that too. It's pretty neat. Or you can actually go in and tell the exact resolution you want the view window to be.
Yes, basically, we are making a modern game, modern UO, a new side to play it. And yes, the problem about the maximize the window is the power of your PC, because if you maximize your window, your CPU can work hard, and because you are drawing a lot of objects.
Yeah. Don't do 4K without some kind of
Yes,
scaling going on, because then you're drawing a lot. Yeah, it works pretty hard.
yeah. Unfortunately, you are has a problem. The problem is every object inside your screen is an object that you have to draw. That's the real problem. And well, it's an old game, but it runs at 15 FPS, I think, 10. I don't know. And this is not impact the CPU usage. But when you start to draw at 60 FPS, it's it's a problem.
Yeah, it can like running through Prevalia and Outlands or any place with a lot of players, you can definitely see it work harder. If you're at a reasonable resolution and a reasonable FPS, though, it'll keep up. But I've definitely seen sometimes where it can get go from like 80 to 60 or something like that. It starts really struggling. I don't know if you've got more optimizations to come in the future for how it displays and like to have it not work so hard.
Well, the problem, as I said, is the amount of the object to draw. And if you want to increase the ClassicUO performance, you can disable the fixed time step, set it to false from settings.json, yeah, inside the main folder, and maybe you can gain in FPS, maybe.
Yeah, I definitely do. When I turn those two off, it seems to not dip as much. I don't know what that's doing, but it does help.
Basically, the fixed time step, if is it set to true, the game loop sleep some in a bit time, 1 milliseconds, I think. Depends how the FPS did you set, and yes, if you disable it, the game runs ever and ever and ever and ever without a sleep. That's all.
So if I downsize a client, does it I think it uses less GPU, right? It like hides in the background a little bit there.
Uh, yeah, there is no real problem about it. So I think you can disable it.
So I'm just gonna say from a user perspective, I think the client has come a very long way. The client itself, like CUO, it's a lot more stable. You've really tackled any kind of crash bugs. So every release, it's just more and more stable. I think when I first started Alpha One, I was just crashing endlessly, and now the latest one, I can go hours without it crashing. And then when I do, I send you the crash bug and you fix it, and then it goes away. So I think it's come a long way stability wise. The only thing we're really lacking, I think, is the assistant, which hasn't had an update in a really long time. I know Jaden and Quick are working on the assistant, but that's where most of the Outlands community, if they were to go try the latest release, they're gonna have the most issues. Will be with assistant related stuff. There's no like the Razor's supposed to put a bar up top with your regs and stuff, and that doesn't work. Some hotkeys and macros are funky. It does like some of the targeting is weird. It's all from the assistant though, so the assistant has to catch up. The other big one is like Ultima Mapper doesn't work, which is all assistant stuff. Do you have anything in the works that you can tell us about what CEO plans to do assistant wise?
Yeah. Basically, my plans are to increase to add this stuff, and but we can't do the top bar with the regions like Razor because SDL cannot don't allow it. So I think to emulate this feature and draw a specific GAMP at the top bar to emulate the I don't know the name of, but to emulate the bar at the top. So yeah,
I think they're called counters.
uh,
That's what
yeah,
Razor calls them, anyways.
okay. Uh, so basically, yeah, I want to emulate it. And what about the assistant? Well, the assistant now is stuck because I'm focusing to fix bugs like crashes, and I fixed crashes yesterday, I think, about animation. There was problem with the UOP animation, the memory access violation. It's a shit. And yes, ClassicUO is it's stable now. Yeah, I can say it. And the assistant, my plans is to start it soon. We already have a preview with a menu like will Steam, and the language will be something like will Steam.
Yeah, I saw that preview. So what he did was got a Steam user interface running. It looked like it ran from inside of ClassicUO. None of it was really functional, but you could see basically the assistant was no longer separate in its own thing. It was launched from within the client itself, which I mean, that's how modern games work. So the fact that UO has two things you have to troubleshoot and get to run is a bit awkward. So if you were actually able to get the assistant baked into the client itself, like that screenshot was showing, it's very cool, especially if that's where if you successfully get there.
Yeah. My purpose is to make one application, one application with client, launcher, and assistant. That's all. Because the user experience is better, in my opinion. And the launcher is needed now because people can has difficulty to setting it right, like set the double backslashes inside the UO path. So that's one problem. Yeah.
Yeah, we like to call that like the gatekeeper for. Do you have the ability to test CUO currently? Is if you can do the double backslashes. Although we had a Ace made a really nice guide. I think if you just follow that guide, you can get ClassicUO launched
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
easily.
yeah.
Yeah, a launcher would be nice because you're going to remove lots of the user error just by having a launcher come up and you can pick your settings and have the game launch from that. And I think pretty soon Jaden's going to put CUO on the Outlands launcher with a like an alpha tag so people know that it's for testing purposes.
Yeah. I added a feature inside ClassicUO where you can start it without a launcher, but with arguments. So everybody can start it from a command line with specific keywords.
Oh yeah.
That's my plan. That's the Jaden plan, I think, to start it from the Outland launcher with the arguments.
Yeah, and that's coming really soon. Once they have Razor kind of sorted out a little bit.
Yeah, nice. That's nice.
So scripting. So right now we're stuck with Razor scripting. Most of Outlands is using Steam. I think 80% of the users are using Steam, and most of that is from two features, at least in my opinion. And there's probably more, I'm sure, like targeting and stuff, but most of it's two features. Steam has Loot Grid, and Steam has better scripting. Those are the number one, number two for why people use Steam over Razor. So in CUO, you're stuck with Razor, which means you're stuck with Razor's pretty subpar scripting and no Loot Grid. So are you planning to tackle either of those inside the client itself, or is that going to be relegated to the assistant?
Yeah, we are using Razor for one reason at the moment. Razor is free. We have the source code. We can upgrade it and change, edit code without problem. And but I wrote to the Steam author, Diogo Palma, I think, but he never answered me.
Yeah, you and Jaden and Owen and Lucius, I think they've
Yeah,
all.
me, Jaden, Fuifo, a
I think
lot
they've
of
offered
other
him.
guys.
They've offered him money. They've done everything in their power to get a hold of the Steam guy, and they can't. So, I guess the plan then is to just make Razor closer to Steam. So, but are you going to do Loot Grid in Razor? Or are you going to do Loot Grid in CUO?
Yeah, Razor, it's good. It's not a bad assistant. It was my first assistant when I start to to play UO, and I remember the difficulty to set the macro when oh Jesus Christ, really hard. And yeah, the plan is to make something like your Steam, and the scripting language the same of your Steam. I already have done something like that. I playing with it with a private project on my GitLab branch.
Yeah, I mean, and people don't know what Loot Grid is. If you're only using Razor and Outlands, Loot Grid lets you. It brings up a gump with all the items from the bag, as your corpse bag, I guess, your corpse coffin, and you just click it, and it goes from the coffin to your bag. But it comes with a 1 second delay, which is important for balance issues, so that those using Loot Grid aren't faster than those just going into the bag and getting items they want specifically. for PvP and speed
Yeah.
purposes.
Yeah, that's the problem with Riser. The speed. With Steam, it's a lot better. It's better than Riser. In fact, a lot of people use Steam. No, so we want to make it like Steam, and ClassicUO will be more faster than now, because another guy now it's writing some code to do it. I'm talking about the ACS partner. It's a special partner where instead of use object-oriented programming. It's something hard to explain.
Yeah, this is going over my head right now. you're gonna do what to what?
The ACS, you can search it on Google. Something about the CPU usage, the cache, the size of an object, a lot of nerd stuff like this.
You're gonna make CUO faster. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yes, there we go. To make it faster, more better.
Faster, sexier, smoother.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't tried CUO, it's definitely worth trying. It's kind of a transformative experience a little bit. You will miss stuff from Steam, that's for sure. I've slowly adjusted over the last couple weeks to using the drop hotkey in Razor instead of Loot Grid. I've slowly adjusted to some of the scripting. I mean, I still use Steam to like macro characters up if I was doing that. But I think for a daily driver, CUO is really, really close if you just want to go farm with it. And especially more so once Jaden and Quick get the new Razor on there. That's probably the last little puzzle piece to make this your like 100% your daily driver.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume this is going to be great for PvP. Not yet. I mean, they have some targeting things work out in the client, in the Razor. But the fast FPS, the smoothness, all that's going to make this really nice for a PvP client once it's there.
Well, we should consider the fact that ClassicUO is a young project, so a lot of stuff and feature will be implemented soon, I hope. And yes, Quick and Razor and Jaden working on the new Razor release. And about the release, this weekend, maybe tomorrow, I think, another ClassicUO release with crashes fixed bug. So stay tuned, guys.
Yeah, that'd be good. The releases are nice. I wish you would go to a faster release. I don't know if you could do like nightly releases or I think right now it's basically weeklies. You're putting out like a week release, seems like. Just because people that test the release, the client is so much more stable like 3 days later, and they're still stuck on the older release. But I guess that is the state of using an alpha project.
Yeah, that's the reason we want to implement a launcher where you can download the new updates automatically. So that's a priority, I think.
Anything else we're missing here? Did we talk about animations yet?
Oh yeah, animation. There is a problem about animation, that we don't know the real partner and layout of the WordP files. So sometimes you can see I don't know, a tiger instead of a cat. Sometimes can happen.
It seems like you fix it and then it breaks somewhere else, and then you fix it and then it'll break somewhere else, and then I had a frog not be a frog, I had a bear be a slug, I had something else, and right now it's working pretty good. I think right now we're getting some like diagonal animation issues, things that animate on diagonals.
I just started to make a new animation loader that you can see it inside the dev branch, and to when where I can play with animation easily, so I can test faster the animation, if animation work or not.
Yeah, if anyone wants to help test the client after seeing this, when you do, just you can type dash info, and then you can click on the mob. That gets you all the stuff Karasho needs to. You can screenshot it or write it down and send it over.
Yeah.
As well as any crash logs too.
Yeah. Send or crash log, guys. It's very important.
I mean, it's definitely surpassed Orion. So those of you that tried the last Orion, I think this is a lot more stable, a lot less wonky than that was. It's the only thing I've been using the last couple weeks. So I've been taking out PvEing and playing with it, and it's a lot of fun to watch it improve. Every day, every week. So I can't wait for this thing to be completely done.
Yeah.
I think it's a game changer. It's a game changer. I'm new to UO. I didn't play the old school UO. I didn't really play past shards. I'm kind of new to Outlands, and there's a lot of hiccups having a new player launch Steam successfully or launch Razor. I spent 4 hours troubleshooting my brother's computer to get Steam to work, and that is some bullshit right there, let me tell you. So if I had a modern client that I could just toss him and he's in the game playing like he would expect, not at 12 FPS and all these weird settings he has to go through. It'll come a long way, I think, for player retention, new players, people that go to shards like UO Renaissance and Outlands, and they grab the client. It'll work like they expect it to. Because we're not all vets, UO vets out there that can just easily, like what do you call it, downplay some of the negatives of using Razor and Steam and the Classic client. There's a lot of positives that come from CUO or Orion. I think it's definitely the future of UO, and man, I'm really appreciative that you've taken this project on as something you think important and you bring into the community.
Yeah, it's I like program coding application. It's what I'm doing at work when I was young. So I like the ClassicUO community, the ClassicUO stuff, and so I hope this game will be the most client played from other guys from the community. And yes, I hope to fix all crashes. That's I think I can feel what an user can can feel when application the game crash and you lose all gold or your armor. So sorry, guys. Sorry, guys.
Yep. That's definitely a downside to using an alpha client.
Yeah, it's the dark side of the alpha.
All right, I think that's going to wrap us up. So those of you that want to test the client, go to the ClassicUO thread there in Discord and Outlands, and we'll have a link there to get out to anything you want. You can join the ClassicUO Discord from there as well, and talk to Karasho and help test the client. You can also just write in the Outlands Discord if you want. And we have a new release coming this weekend, a new Razor coming very soon. So I think this is a good time to get in there and test it out.
Yeah. Come, guys, come into Discord, no problem. I'm here. Write all bugs if you want. Write stupid words, GIF, and other stuff. No problem.
Yeah, and I'll have a link in our show notes for all those: the Discord, the ClassicUO Discord, the GitHub.
Okay.
So thanks, Karasho, for coming on here, making some time for me, and trying to sync up our schedules to talk. I'm glad we did. This is an awesome project. So thanks for coming on to tell us about it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. See you.
All right. Peace.
Peace. See you.